What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at RizeGreymon. Yeah, we never looked at RizeGreymon before, so that sounds kind of fun. We've got ourselves a yellow level 5, and if we look at the stats, things look about what we would expect from a level 5. It's an 8 cost to play normally, it's a 3 cost to evolve, and it has 7,000 power. So we're about where we should be. I should mention that our translation comes from the lovely Jason Snowjacks here. And I know I say that pretty much every day. And you know what? For as long as the lovely Jason Snowjacks continues to give us lovely translations, I'm going to keep giving him credit for said lovely translations. So we've got pretty much the stats that we would expect here, which is rather lovely. The real question, of course, becomes, is it worth it? What does it do? Okay, to be fair, I will concede that 8 cost to play normally is maybe slightly higher than usual. There we go. Ever so slightly expensive to play. The good news is it doesn't have a play skill, it has an evolving skill, so you're probably never going to play it normally anyway. When you evolve, you may play one yellow tamer from your hand without paying the cost. Although any play skills it has do not activate. This is wonderful. This is like genuinely, awesomely, legitimately wonderful. This means that you can just play extra cards for free. And we've got some good yellow tamers. I made no secret of the fact that back in the starter decks, my favourite of the tamers was the yellow tamer that basically gave all of your security Digimon an extra 2,000 power. I really like the fact that if you get multiples of them down, the chances are your opponent just isn't going to be able to attack your security stack without getting KO'd. Yeah, sure, deleted in the parlance of this game. Sure, they can go after the stack, but they will end up getting deleted, so ha ha ha. And then, of course, we did get a new one in, or we are getting a new one, I should probably say, in Ultimate Power. We are getting ourselves a Carry Kamiya. And at the start of your turn, if your security is 3 or less, you get +1 memory. So not so much in the early game, admittedly, but this just goes up and up and up. There's no limit to how much memory you can get, up to the usual limit of 10. If your opponent gives you the turn with 7 memory, and you got 3 of these out, you'll go up to 10 memory. Which is awesome. This is my favourite of the two, incidentally. I think memory is too good. And I know that you don't get it if you've got 4, 5, 6 or more security. But just that mid to late game extra security is just, it's too useful not to kind of run headfirst into. Now, of course, we did also get the one that came around in New Evolution, which if your memory is 2 or less, it goes to 3, which I like, but that one's not going to stack, right? It just goes up to 3. Although, of course, then hopefully you get the combo whereby then Carry Kamiya comes in, and you go up to 3 and then potentially up to 7. That's if you've got 4 of Kamiya down and 1 of Takaishi. Then your opponent can pass with like 1 memory, or give you the turn with 1 memory, and you'll go straight up to 7. That is going to help you out redonkulously. Although that one does have the play skill that lets you basically search a yellow card from your security and then replace it from the top of your deck. That will not activate. Remember, we said any play skills don't activate. This is what they were talking about. This is the only yellow tamer play skill we've actually seen. And it does only let you play yellow tamers. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a 4 cost that you can play for free, and then it will put you from 1 or 2 memory up to 3. I love it as a one-off, but if you're playing it without paying the cost, you're only getting the first skill. Which I still think is worth it, incidentally. So you evolve up, you get one of these. It's only a 3 cost to evolve. You can play 4 of these. You can evolve all 4 of them up. And essentially, you're evolving up into a level 5 as you usually would and getting a tamer played for free. There are going to be those turns you don't have the tamer in hand and that's going to be sad, etc. But make no mistake about it, this is a phenomenal skill. And there's an inheritable skill as well. So none of this, oh, it's got a good skill, but it then sits there as a vanilla evolution source. No, it's got one of those as well. If you've got 3 or more yellow tamers, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So you're taking out an extra security card when you attack. You've got to have 3 or more tamers in play. They're all going to be yellow. So this really is looking at a mono-yellow deck here. That's not to say that you can't play non-yellow cards, but it is to say that time you build in a big fat yellow line going up to at least level 5, and you play lots of tamers, Yeah. Now, of course, there is going to be a big question here as to exactly how many Tamers you play. Remember, they've all got the security skill, where if they're shown as a security card, you get to play them without paying the cost, and then you can evolve up here. And then, of course, you know, the 2 and 3 cost, I think, are really good anyway, and they're not terribly expensive. I mean, the question is going to be how many you play. Because some of them are going to end up in your security, and some of them you're not going to draw into. And this is not a game so far that has crazy draw power. And similarly, we've not got that many decent options for searching. Now, the cool thing is, of course, we do actually have an option for searching here. I mean, of course, the funny thing is, the 4-cost Tamer, the one from New Evolution, will actually search out a Tamer if it's in your security. So you can essentially play it and then keep going, which is a kind of a weird one. We do also have, now it is a red card, but the Agumon from New Evolution, it's a free cost to play normally, and when you play it, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, adding a Tamer card you find there to your hand, and it doesn't have to be a yellow Tamer, so I think if you are going for a full-bore Tamer deck, this would definitely be one you want to be playing here because it's going to help you get your Tamers. I'm not sure the 4-cost Tamer is amazing in that regard, but it might be worth playing anyway because you play it and then get another Tamer if there's one in your security. But of course, we've seen a couple of other yellow cards from Ultimate Power so far that really reward you for playing multiple Tamers. So we all got a little bit weirded out when there was a yellow Agumon, or at least, as opposed to be more accurate, I got all weirded out when it turned out there was a yellow Agumon. But that yellow Agumon is actually a very good card in this type of deck. When you attack as an inheritable skill, if you've got 3 or more yellow Tamers, you draw 1. And it's an inheritable skill, so let's say you've got all the way up to a level 6 here, and you've used RizeGreymon. Then all of a sudden, when you're a level 6, you got 3 Tamers, you got security attack +1, and you're drawing a card. This is a very, very nice thing, but it actually keeps going. Because RizeGreymon, when you attack, if you've got 3 or more yellow Tamers, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 power until the end of turn. So that sounds pretty gosh darn good. And maybe the level 6 you evolve into is actually RizeGreymon. When you Digivolve, you rest all of your yellow Tamers, and for each one rested, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 power until the end of turn. And on your turn, this Digimon gets 1,000 for every Tamer that you have. Are we starting to see yet that this is going to add up? So now let's put this all together. Let's assume you've got a RizeGreymon, and you've evolved up from Agumon in this evolution line, and you've got, let's just say, 3 yellow Tamers, alright? Well, Agumon gives you the power, so when you attack, you draw a card. And then RizeGreymon gives one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2,000 power. RizeGreymon gives you security attack +1. And then RizeGreymon will give 3 of your opponent's Digimon minus 4,000 power, added to the minus 2,000 you've already had. And because you got 3 Tamers, it will become a 14,000 power Digimon, bearing in mind it's still got the security attack +1. That is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. That is an absolutely over-the-top, silly, broken combo. And it's going to take a bit to get it going, don't get me wrong. This isn't going to be something that you're rocking turn 2 every game. But this is a combo that it is worth going for. You're not rocking cheap evolutions. It's going to take 9 memory to get all the way from Agumon up to RizeGreymon. But it's totally worth it. And bearing in mind, one of those Tamers can be played for free when you evolve into RizeGreymon. So there's only really 2 that you've got to find space for normally. And this could be huge. Like, that is a ridiculous thing. Drawing a card and having a 14,000 power Digimon with security attack +2 and taking away 4,000 power from 3 of your opponent's Digimon and 2,000 from another is just when we're getting into the, oh my goodness, that's silly kind of territory. I think these really are ones that you have to build around. I don't think these are little techs. I don't think you're just chucking them in here, there, and everywhere. I do think what's happening is that we're being given essentially a new archetype, a new kind of deck. We are being given the tools here to make a yellow deck built around yellow Tamers and this evolution line, and I'll be honest with you, if you can get it rolling, it looks very, very strong. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.